If you were to count up every hot dog sold outside football grounds in Britain on a Saturday, chances are your nickname's Rain Man. 40,000 Americans are injured in the toilet every year. Most accidents are from people slipping on a wet floor. Just goes to show you've got to look out for number one. Half of all the people who have ever smoked have now stopped. Sounds good, but when I say stopped, a lot of them have died. Let's get started. Dave, your team to go first. What have the nation been talking about this week?
Well, around Norway, it's been this smoking ban. I think the government reneged on the deal again, where they said that it was going to be a partial ban. I know they've changed their mind and it's a full ban. They were going to have designated areas in pubs, weren't they, for smoking? And to my mind, that's like having a swimming bath with designated urinating areas.
They have banned it in some American cities, haven't they? Do you approve?
Well, as I live here, I couldn't give a fuck about what's going on back
there. There are times you really fancy a cigarette, and it's going to be quite tricky. Like, you know, if you just cheated death in an air disaster, you really want to have a cigarette then?
I reckon they'll let you.
Yeah, do you reckon?
If you've just cheated death in an air disaster.
Yeah. But you won't care anyway, will you? Just go, piss off.
Yeah.
I think put that plane out.
Are you saying, like, if your seat somehow gets thrown out of the plane into a pub?
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look and see whether the smoking ban is one of the top 5 most talked about things this week.
Get in.
Yes, it is. Interestingly, the ban on smoking will not apply to Wales, which is one more reason to visit Wales, which brings the total to 1. We've got 2 more to get. Buzz in if you think you know what the nation have been talking about.
Is it the US Vice President going out hunting and shooting his mate? Which is really funny. I mean, he said, I'm mistooking for a quail.
Lenny went, did you see the size of that fucking quail?
It's a shame you didn't go with Bush, though, isn't it? Just, that would have been nice if he'd shot Bush. That would have been perfect. If George Bush had popped out of a bush and he'd blown his stupid face off.
Now, Reg, you're an American man. Have you been hunting?
No, I've never been hunting. I've been in the forest with a gun, but...
Don't threaten me, Reg.
I was doing something else, though.
I do think you shoot quails, because when I went on hunting, they only said that you shoot ferrets, rabbits...
You went hunting?
You sure you weren't working for Rent-A-Kill?
No,
You weren't hitting rats with a shovel?
And I'm going to go to shoot the ferrets.
You're going to go and shoot ferrets?
In the season.
In the season? Is there a season for shooting ferrets?
That's what they said.
Yeah. Do you mean pheasants?
Pheasants!
Right, shall we have a look and see if Dick Cheney shooting someone in the face is one of the top stories this week? Yes, it is. Yes, 52% of you were talking about American Vice President Dick Cheney shooting a lawyer in the face in the woods outside Dallas. 60% of air passengers have had problems with what?
The pilot. I just judged this on one incident where I was flying recently to Alicante and we got up to 35,000 feet. He came on and went, pilot Captain Johnson speaking, reached our cruising altitude, 35,000 feet, on the way to Alicante. Weather en route's fine. Shit! That was it. And we sat there like... He came back on and he went, I'm really sorry, I might have scared some passengers. And what happened was, in the middle of my announcement, the stewardess brought me a coffee and spilt it on me. And that was all it was. I'm sorry. And he said, you want to see the front of my pants? And some bloke at the back went, you want to see the back of mine?
I don't think the seats would be a problem. Like especially like in America, like say for instance, you got a fat ass. And in America, a lot of people got a fat ass, and I would think that the seats would consistently be a problem over there. But I've seen a few people over here, and they seem like, well, I've seen a lot of fat people, but they ain't got no fat ass. I don't know how they do that.
Reg, that's exactly the right answer. It is 60% of air passengers have had problems with their seat. The main problem being it's next to a man whose shoe is ticking.